So there's this AI actress, Tilly Norwood, that got released and is apparently getting signed by different agencies. And all I know is all of my friends are freaking out, and all that my actor friends, they're posting about it. And I even sent like a funny video from a AI director that was just kind of, it was an AI director made movie, and it wasn't good, but I kind of was just lighting gas on the fire just because it was fun, and they kind of came back all serious, like, well, it's going to take all of our jobs and everything, it's because people don't know any different. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like, people need to settle down and just focus on their work. Get better at making films with soul, make stuff that you love. I'm not really worried about it, because I think maybe it's because I'm focused right now on making the best narrative films I can make. I think that's what keeps me sane, or maybe not sane. Maybe more like I don't feel threatened. I'm not gonna lie. I felt threatened by AI in 2014. I really thought that AI was gonna, and I remember telling someone, AI are gonna make movies like that faster than us and better than us. And somebody once told me, like, oh, that's bullcrap. And now it's happening, and then over 10 years later, but now I'm looking at it, I'm like, now everything I've learned over the last 10 years, the one thing AI does not have is it doesn't have your experience. It doesn't have your soul. It doesn't have, the human connection. It's kind of like uncanny valley that people have to get past with VFX. There's this, we as human beings can sense if something's real or not. And not only that, we have this, I think there's a need for human connection. And now you can make the argument that, well, audiences don't know that, and you're right. But it's this sense that, like, I think if we lived in a world where human beings consumed AI content and AI films, and we're starting to experience that. If that's all they consumed, we would have robots. Like, everyone would just be a robot. Now, that's actually more of a scary scenario than losing your job due to AI. If everyone just coming to be more like AI, like we just collectively lose our identity because we choose to interface with these things all the time for everything more than other human beings. I think that's the thing that I'm even more scared about. And if you look at the very fact that we have these devices, these computers in our pockets, or as I've once heard them called, devil boxes, if you really wrap your mind around the ramifications of that, that's why all the problems in society, I think, stem from this over reliance or addiction with these devices, with the internet, with social media. The way that social media and the internet is designed to keep your attention, and the way that it creates separate opinions and tunnel realities of ways of thinking when it comes to politics or anything. The way that it has warped people's brains in society, and warped society, and the way we interact with each other, and it's also destroyed attention spans. There's a lot of people don't know the science or even the first-hand effects in their life of how much social media or the internet affects their attention span. Like, I feel like I saw this recently where someone was on set on their phone a lot, and I was just like, they think that they're present, but they're not. They had no conception of what was happening around them. And that's, I feel that way myself if I don't have boundaries or limitations on social media or on the phone, the devices. I feel it in my life. As I was mentioning, people getting distracted by devices, I think I witnessed somebody get distracted and rear end someone. But no, I've witnessed, when I'm too distracted or using my devices too much, I personally am not as productive, or my work suffers. And, it's something I'm very mindful of. Like I've had, months go by where I don't use social media, or I don't engage or interface with these distractions. And I'm much happier. I'm much more productive. It's funny, even like I guess on a spiritual level, I kind of witness life happening much smoother and much more, much better, and think a lot more happening for me when I'm not on those apps, when I'm not engaged with them. So but I still use them. I still get my fix, even though it doesn't, do much for me. I feel like I have to check for social media messages for my business or for friends, but really I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it to get my fix, if I'm honest with myself. And I think if you're honest with yourself, you'd probably say the same. You can eliminate social media from your life, but whether you choose to is another question. Now, if that's how we are now, what are we going to be like in the future when we have AI talking to us? Are we going to choose to interface with that or not? Are we going to see the effects? Even if we see the effects that it has in our life, are we going to eliminate it or keep it? I don't know. But I'll be honest, from a personal standpoint, when it comes to movies, I don't personally watch a lot of movies anymore as a filmmaker. I'll go out to the theater when I know a good movie's in theaters. I recently saw One Battle After Another. One of the best and funniest films I've seen in years. And I appreciate that. I appreciate auteurs. I appreciate individual voices in filmmaking. I appreciate masters of their craft. I don't watch a lot of movies anymore. I used to watch a lot, but I think what changed is after I found out how to consistently write films that matter to me, it's as if a switch in my brain got turned off, where I realized, okay, I've learned everything I can learn. Or I think I was able to write in a way that I knew I knew how much work it was and the results of it, that I got kind of bored personally with most filmmakers' works, because I knew as a writer they're not going to the same levels of OCD as I was, and it just wasn't scratching the itch for me. I'm not sure what it is, like if something happened in my attention span because of my own writing. Something happened, and it's been quite interesting to me. But I bring this up. I don't watch a lot of movies right now, which probably isn't good. But at the same time, I think I'm still getting something that I need for my films, but I'm not getting it from movies anymore. I'm getting the substance of storytelling from somewhere else. And for me, and this, this might sound, to some people who don't get this, it'll sound basic, it'll sound kind of like, oh, whatever, or for those who do understand, it'll click, they'll go, oh, Oh, that's a good idea. Dude, I bury myself in scripture. And I haven't always thought of it that way. I haven't really, I used to, I didn't always appreciate scripture. I knew there was something about it growing up, but once I've realized that I had to eliminate a lot of other modern spirituality books or philosophy books, and the only tool I needed to go through life was the Bible. Once I realized that and eliminated any other influences and just kind of used that as my primary influence, and if I wanted to read other books on other things, I did, but I kind of viewed it through that lens. That's when I started finding wisdom in my life like I never did before. It's funny how in the Bible they talk about, the fear of God is the start of wisdom, and I agree. I get it. There is so much to unpack with that, but because I pursue that, I think my films will be much better. I don't go to films for how to, put my films together. I go to the Bible. I bury myself in scripture, and I'm creating a wall of scripture that the devil has to climb over to get to me. And, my goal is to give people that wall in my movies, to give them a film that has wisdom to it, that means something. Now, you might be thinking, well, other filmmakers don't do that. No. The biggest inspirations to me on this are J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. These are incredibly intelligent, creative people who were also, very devout Christians. And their work, sometimes it was obvious, sometimes it wasn't, provided that influence, provided that those values, that value system, so that when you're watching, or maybe reading their books, because the filmmakers, I'm sure, they depart from those values in ways, they water it down in ways, but to some degree it's still there. Like I would say, they had a lot of action in battles that really is not, probably isn't reflective of, or it has a lot of ego involved, and it doesn't reflect the values of these people. But, these are people who, they inspired me. I want to have movies that give people another source of, or not a source of scripture. I want to give people a path to looking at scripture that relates to the modern age, that relates to where we're going in life, where we are. I think I'll more so do this with my sci-fi trilogy, which I think I might get started soon. I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, you know what? That is something that matters to me. And I'm wrapping up this writing on a very important writing project I've been working on all year for a premiere / showcase, but it also talks about my testimony coming back to Christ and my journey the last decade in life. Is that guy turning? I cannot tell. Oh. And I realize, my biggest concern is not getting to write that, not getting to work on it, and knowing it's going to take years to write it. It's going to be a 3-film writing project. Why not get started? Well, there's nothing getting in the way. Like, if I get started now and write it as I'm doing the feature film, that would be awesome. That would allow me to enjoy the process of constructing it, to take pressure off me, but also rise to the occasion. This is real now. I'm making this. And it's not just years off into the future. I'm not just dreaming about it. We're doing it now and dreaming as I do it. And all the hardship that I experienced making my first feature film, all the stress, all the everything. I have a way to channel all that into something beautiful. And, you know, I'm not going to be working on it constantly. I'm going to, here and there, I'm going to work on it in bursts. And each time I get to experience hardship, and chaos and even trauma, that is going to inspire scenes in the trilogy, because it's full of that. It needs that inspiration. And when I have burnout weeks, you know, where I can't get any writing done, you know, that just means I'm working on the feature. You know, I'm sticking to that. So I'm excited about this. I'm really, I did not expect me to want to do this, but I kind of feel called right now to start it. And I know that when I start, it'll start forming itself. Like, that's the thing. And knowing that I've got not only the feature film that I'm working on, but like things are getting rolling on the next thing. Like, it's not like, oh, if this works out, we're going to work on that. No, we're going to work on that next thing regardless. But I don't think life is going to unfold in a way that I can unless I get started it. Like with my feature, if I didn't get started, people wouldn't have started showing up. Like things kind of fell into place once I began. It's kind of a counterintuitive idea, but like if you want to get into wisdom from the Bible, look at the sense of how if you raise your staff, the waters will part. You have to raise your staff first. And there's a lot of moments in life where if you don't put your one foot in front of the other and get started, kind of like in the ending of Lord of the Rings, when Frodo and Samwise, they're walking into Mordor and they're terrified. That's how it felt for me to start a feature film. I was terrified. There's no way this is going to work, right? But they say, all we can do is put one foot in front of the other. That's it. That's the key. Believe it or not. You want to get rid of the fear of doing a feature film? Just get started, dude. Get started filming. And you know what? That fear has gone away. And that's true of life. Any God-sized adventure, undertaking, or mountain that you need to climb, as scary as it is, you put one foot in front of the other, you get started, you're going to find that things start working out. And I would also argue you have to have a relationship with Christ. You got to pray to him. You got to have that relationship with God and have faith in him, because that relationship is what carries you through. It's knowing that he's watching over you and he's helping you along the way. Believing that and having faith in him, that's I think essential. Like, you might not see success if you don't. Now, it doesn't guarantee you do. But I've seen his hand in my life in ways that there's no explanation for. Like there's no other explanation for. It's him. And so knowing he's there and he's going to want the right outcome for the world, regardless if I succeed or fail, I'm going to glorify him. And I'm going to glorify him by heeding that call that he gave me. And what is all this about adventures, about doing your first feature film? What does this have to do with the AI Nilly Torwood, or whatever her name is, and all these AI filmmakers and actors? I think it's just fear. It's fear-mongering. And that's what bugs me about it, is people are getting so caught up in the fear and the hype of it that it's like, I think in 5 to 10 years, the real filmmakers are going to reveal themselves. The real artists who love this are going to reveal themselves. They're going to start making work, or they're going to keep making work in the face of this new, I don't know what you want to call it, a threat. I don't think it's a threat, to be honest. People are going to realize, oh, these people actually love what they do. I think some people are in it for money. And yeah, I would like to make money so I can continue doing it. I think if you're in it for the ability to keep doing it, the work, and working relentlessly at it, and like to a level where you're like, there's no way that someone would want to do this for just a normal amount of money, normal paycheck. Like this is some like this is the level of work that somebody does when they're going to be really successful. Like they're going to be millionaires or billionaires. No, shut up. Just do the work. Love what you do. Be a craftsman. That's your job. And that's the thing. I think it comes back to this advice I got from somebody who was Soldier of the Year at one point. He said what he learned in the military is no one cares. Shut up and do your job. And that's, I think, I mean, yes, I think that people should have backlash to this, sure. But if you're scared and stifled from doing what you love because of it, just shut up and do your job. Go do it. Go do what you love. You know? And you know what? Yeah, you can raise hell about it. Do that, but like, if it stops you from doing your job, do you really love it, or are you doing it because you want to compete against? You want to be successful, or like really successful in the world? I don't know. I mean, I get it. It makes tougher for survival, but like, if you really love this, just don't give up. Just keep going. I think there's a way to make it work. And I think there'll be a time where people realize there's gonna be human beings who still recognize that they love human-made films. They don't like AI films. They don't want something that feels like it's eating their soul watching it. They want something wholesome. They want something that feels human and feels positive. I think I want to see that more in the world. But anyway, this is my long-winded thoughts on the Tilly Norwood situation and what, you know, how the ramifications of that and whatnot. I hope this is helpful for you guys. Appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Later.